Good morning everybody, welcome back to my kitchen garden. Now if you're watching this, it means I haven't made a total dog's dinner of what I'm about to attempt. So today I'm going to fit some guttering to the back of the greenhouse and attempt to install a slimline water butt. So let me show you all the bits that I've got. The system I'm using is Flowplast mini guttering. It is 50mm, so it's smaller than the guttering that you have on your house and commercial buildings. This is a small grade specifically for sheds, greenhouses and small buildings. So let me show you all the pieces that I've got. So I've got the guttering, which you can see is, you can see in my hand, it's much smaller than you'd see on a house. I've got two 2 metre lengths. My greenhouse is 2.57 and obviously 2 metres wasn't long enough, so I've had to get extra. I'll have to cut that down. I've got the down pipe, which again, if you see my finger, you can see how small it is. So that's a 2 metre length. And then I've got this end, which is, what's this called? This is the mini flow stop end. So this is where the water runs down and comes down the down pipe and into the water butt. I've got a joining bracket because I'm going to have to cut the second piece of guttering and join the two. And then I've got 2 more brackets to support the guttering itself. And another end stop which goes up the higher end. And then for the downward spout, I've got this shoe which goes on the bottom of the downward pipe. So any overflow just goes out into the garden. And then I've got these 2 joins to make a swan neck because there's an overhang and I need to get the overhang and the downward pipe match. Bit worried about that. And then I've got 2 clips for the downward pipe. So that's the actual guttering. But also part of that system is this. Now I've got cut the downward pipe into 2 pieces and join it so that the water's diverted into the water butt, and then when the water butt is full it can send any overspill down the down pipe and through the shoe out into the garden. So that's all my pieces. So I think the next thing I need to do is start measuring up. Okay, so I've put my end stop in with the downward flow. That is 2 centimetres from the top of that side. And then I've put a plumb line in. Is now 1 centimetre from the top because you have to have a fall, and it recommends 1 centimetre every 3 metres. So I use that as a guide because this is 2.57 metres. So now my line is in, I've now got to put my first bracket up, and that has to be 10 centimetres in from this end. So I'm going to do that next. So I've got 4 of those brackets in. I think what I'm going to do is try and fit the first piece of guttering, which is 2 metres, and then I can work out how to do the join. So let's see if I can clip that in. Oh, so far so good. So that it's all okay. So I'm now going to go and put the joining bracket the other end and then measure up what I need of the shorter piece and see if I can join it. I fitted the connector, but the catch broke off, so that is not tight enough. That's going to leak, that joint is going to leak, so it looks like I'm going to have to go out and buy another piece, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. But apart from that, it's looking good so far. So far so good. That's gone together like a dream. I've got my downpipe, but what I need to do now is place the water butt and work out where I'm going to cut this pipe and put in the what's it called, diverter, where I'm going to put the diverter. So I managed to get a replacement joining bracket, so I've just put that in, and I'm just going to pour some water down and see what happens. So give it a bit of a test run, make sure it doesn't leak. So this is the 100 litre slimline water butt, and it comes with its own accessories. So it's got its own flexi hose and diverter kit. Now I'm not going to be using that because I want to use the mini flow system, which I think is sleeker. And it also has this 4-piece base that you just clip together. So my next task is to level this area up so I can put the base on here. I tried earlier on the stones that are already down here and it was so uneven it would have been no good at all. So when I went out to get the bracket, I also bought some pea shingle as well. So the base is all level now, and I've just got to figure out now how I actually install this. So if you look at this impression, I need to cut a hole in this big enough for the connector to go through. So my uncle once told me that water is lazy. It doesn't like inclines, it prefers to flow downwards. So when you install a rainwater diverter, it needs to be slightly lower than the top of the butt, but higher than the water butt's inlet. This way it ensures that the water flows downwards from the diverter and into the butt. Right, that's all done now. So it's a moment of truth. Let's test it and see if it works. Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled. It's all working. It's not leaking. The water butt is filling, and if I offer up a watering can and turn the tap, it's filling the watering can. So it's taken, I would guess in total probably about 2.5 hours to do, probably a little bit longer. I also had to break off at one point and go to the DIY store to get an extra bracket because, as I showed you, the first one broke. So that kind of interrupted the day, but it was certainly done in a day, and it's been worth the effort. I'll put the receipts on the end so you can see how much it cost me. The water butt I did get as a discount from the garden centre where I work, but I think they retail about £42 for the whole kit. So it's the water butt, the flexi hose inside and diverter, and the base. Oh, I am just really chuffed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it will spur you on to have a go at a project like this. It's certainly worth it. I know now that if I need a second water butt, I'm in a position where I can add another one to it, because the ground in front of the water butt is lower than where the water butt is sitting, so I could have another one if I wanted to. But yeah, what started off as a sort of a minor idea, a little idea last week, triggered a chain of events, and so now my pond has been moved, the compost has been moved to where the pond was, and now I've got water butt. I'm chuffed. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. I'm Annie, and this is my kitchen garden.